Supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Tonight on News 22,
we take a closer look at new head men's basketball coach Chris Jantz.
Hawks have made their annual return to the Mesilla Valley.
And more from last weekend's Climate March for Change.
News 22 starts now.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Melissa Barraza.
And I'm Javier Gutierrez.
What is usually a quiet and lackluster election is drawing thousands of people to the polls today.
It's an election for two positions on the Doña Ana County Soil and Water Conservation District. Conservation districts were formed in the 1930s as a response to the Dust Bowl. Traditionally, the positions in Doña Ana County have been held by people with conservative outlook, but this year's two incumbents are being challenged by people with strong environmental records. Lines could be seen at polling locations throughout the day for this often forgotten election. The county clerk's office estimated that thousands of ballots would be cast in this election, a major increase from previous p.m.
Protesters from all over Las Cruces started taking action this past Saturday to speak up for our environment.
The protest is the Climate March, and over 370 cities took part, including Las Cruces. Selena Quintana has insight on the story.
On the 100th day of Trump's presidency, citizens of all kinds gathered in the early morning at Albert Johnson Park to help bring awareness to the changing climate. March coordinator Peter Sloan with the Southwest Environmental Center says the march proves people are concerned.
To show that there's a growing popular movement that cares about climate change, that acknowledges that it's real, that acknowledges that it's a real threat, and wants our government and our business community and everyone to work together to solve it. So we're trying to show that a lot of people feel that way today.
As people began to flood into the park, many started lining the sidewalks with their signs. The protest consisted of speakers from different organizations and elected officials. City Councilor Jill Sorg says that with the Trump administration in office, he expects environmental policy will get worse. He says it's up to us to change things.
I think our planet's going to get worse. They will not change. We have to change them. We have to get new people in office, new people that are going to provide the changes that we need.
Senator Jeff Steinborn's here at the march, and he says it's important for the community to get informed and speak up to the government about problems like climate change.
Get educated and get involved. Make no mistake, your voice, every voice, the voice of one person can make a huge difference. Contacting a city councilor or a state representative, a state senator like myself, your congressman, and saying, hey, this is really important to me. It's really about strength in numbers. And so this is a huge issue of our time, and we all need to continue to rise up, stand up, make our voice heard.
Sloan says this is just a start when it comes to protesting climate change, and that there's more to expect in the future. Selena Quintana, News 22.
And today was a nice day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of like a Goldilocks day. Not too hot, not too cold, real nice.
That's good. And Andres is next with our first look at weather.
It sure was a beautiful day, and it's springtime, and that means NMSU Swainson's Hawks are back on campus. This is the 5th year in a row that the Hawks have returned to build their nest in the trees near Renfro Hall. Some students say the Hawks have swooped down on passerbys. A newsletter sent by the university said to wear a hat or carry an umbrella when walking through the area. Some think the birds should just be left alone. Now,
they're just a part of nature. They're not harming us, It's just they're not bothering us. We should let them be, not bother with them.
The birds are protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which protects nesting migrant birds. And for today, we're currently seeing sunny skies with the temperature sitting at 83 degrees. Winds coming from the southwest at 13 miles per hour, so it's pretty breezy outside. We have a low humidity at 6%, dew point at 32 degrees, and our barometer sits at 29.64 inches. As for today, we saw a high temperature of 87 degrees, which is just right above average. We should be seeing 83. We woke up to a low of 54, but back in the year 2001, we saw a record high of 93 degrees. In the year 1967, we saw a record low of 27 degrees. We did see some rain over the weekend, so our yearly rainfall sits at 2.31 inches. That is it for your current conditions. Let's take it back to the folks on the desk.
The matter of sexual assault is a hot topic here at New Mexico State University.
Patty Wojon, the head of interdisciplinary studies, says new gender bias and violence programs are in the works. Whitley Newberry has the story.
A lot of concerns were raised when Chris Jans was introduced as the new men's basketball coach. The former Bowling Green State University coach was fired in April 2015 for harassing a woman at a bar.
I want to try to be an agent for change. I want other people to learn from my mistake.
But some people on the NMSU campus were not happy with the hire, including the Department of Gender and Sexuality Studies. They met with Chancellor Gary Carruthers to voice their concerns during Aggies Against Violence Week.
What kind of an environment are we promoting for our students if we were saying, hey, take this pledge, but we're going to hire this coach?
Well, I'm very serious about respecting our athletes, men and women athletes. And so it is my expectation, and he knows it, that we're going to respect our athletes, our colleagues, and we're going to behave properly.
Since Chris Jans will remain the head coach at NMSU, Athletics Director Mario Mocha says the department will take a stronger stance against violence and sexual assault.
So we will all be part of that campaign moving forward, in addition to our new basketball staff.
Patty Wojon says she'll be watching closely for the university's response. And Lori Malott from the Office of Institutional Equity will be doing a study on gender violence to see what changes need to be made on the NMSU campus. There will also be workshops available for administrators to learn about gender bias and violence.
I'm meeting with Lori Malott in the EIO department next week to talk about not just the It's On Us initiative, but any other ways for me to get involved on campus and try to foster a good environment.
Whitley Newberry, News 22.
A former Mesilla official and radio DJ is behind bars accused of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old girl. 49-year-old Carlos Castaneda is being charged with first-degree kidnapping and 3 counts of third-degree criminal sexual contact of a minor. According to the report, Castaneda tried touching the girl multiple times in February at his home. Castaneda currently has a bond of $15,000 and is scheduled to appear in court on Monday.
The Doña Ana County District Attorney says it's like the TV show Breaking Bad.
A science teacher has pleaded guilty to making meth. That's the first story in tonight's Crime Blotter.
Police say John Goes taught science at Irvin High School in El Paso, Texas, and other schools in Las Cruces, New Mexico. He was arrested in October of 2016 after a routine traffic stop in which Las Cruces police officers discovered a box full of science equipment that could be used to make methamphetamines. They raided his house and confirmed that's what he was doing. Federal authorities are searching for 3 fugitives connected to the Sonora drug cartel. The feds have already arrested 25 suspects in the latest operation. Anyone with information about the fugitives is asked to contact the Drug Enforcement Administration in Las Cruces. 2 men and a woman are facing charges after deputies say they beat up the woman's boyfriend. Investigators say the incident began when Ruth Carbajal got in an argument with her boyfriend. She left him on the side of the road and picked up 2 friends. They went to the boyfriend's home and beat him up with a bat. A Las Cruces police dog found 3 hiding in the desert. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A man was found with his hands nailed to 2 trees with thick 3-inch long nails. He's being treated for his injuries, but police are not able to get the man to talk about what happened to him. This has been Zach Covert with today's Crime Blotter.
2 infants died under similar situations in Las Cruces in less than a week. This morning, a mother found her 4-month-old boy not breathing. The infant was transported to Mountain View Hospital where he died. 3 days ago, another 4-month-old was also found not breathing. According to police, the infant was sleeping on his mother's bed. He was pronounced dead at his home. Las Cruces police investigations for both cases are ongoing.
A 14-year-old student at Vista Middle School in El Paso is recovering after the student suffered a heart attack. 8th grader Kaylin Cuadron heart stopped at a track meet on Friday afternoon in Las Cruces. Nurses did CPR on Cuadron until paramedics who used a defibrillator. Cuadron was taken to Mountain View Medical Center and then transported to El Paso Children's Hospital. She was released from the hospital and is now back in school.
And stay tuned. Andres will be back with your national forecast.
And later, Blas Maestas shows us how the Las Cruces Country Music Festival affected the economy of the city. More on that when News 22 continues.
Hi, I'm Norma Bichot, Program Manager for KRWG. It's a brand new season and host Joseph Rosendo is headed on another journey. The new season of Joseph Rosendo's Travel Scope includes adventures to the Cook Islands in the Pacific, joining a parade of the medieval guilds during Zurich's festival, exploration of the stone figures on Easter Island, and the Amazon rainforest in Peru. Come scale new heights of adventure, natural splendor, and cultural richness this season. The travel adventure begins Sundays at 2 p.m. on KRWG.
The KRWG TV public file is available to the public at 2915 McPhee Circle, Milton Hall, Room 117, on the campus of New Mexico State University. Regular business hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Files are also available online at stations.fcc.gov.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22.
Where news matters.
Governor Susana Martinez says she has $40 million for new businesses. It's for startups that show promise of becoming economically viable. The funding is expected to help more than 50 New Mexico companies in New Mexico, most of them focused in technology. New Mexico is hoping that one of the companies they fund will be the next Apple or Microsoft and will have a major return on investment for New Mexico. Las Cruces hosted more country stars at this weekend's music festival.
And as Blas Maestas reports, they brought more than music.
You also got to have a lot of real. The Las Cruces Country Music Festival is continuing to grow, bringing in big names like Travis Tritt, Tanya Tucker, and the Eli Young Band. Event organizers like Marcy Dickerson say this event is really putting Las Cruces on the map.
It's a great tourism promoter. There's a lot of people that bought weekend passes. The hotels occupancy rate are over 90% for this weekend, which is wonderful. People are in town spending money, buying things, because of course we're only open in the evening for the festival.
The festival has gone on for 5 years, and local star Bree Bagwell is excited to share her hometown with people from all over, including her friends in the music industry.
I know that when people come here, they're texting me, where do we eat? Where should we go shopping? Where should we, go spend our money? And so I'm glad to see that money is coming into our economy. And I hope that the business owners here are loving it as much as I'm loving seeing all my friends fall in love with the city.
Thousands came out this weekend to the Las Cruces Country Music Festival, and as you can see behind me, they are starting to fill in the seats to enjoy themselves, and Las Cruces is enjoying the economic boost. The Pecan Grill and Brewery sponsored the event and says they had a good turnout.
So we were the official after party for the Country Music Festival, and so Friday night collectively we did about $33,000 in sales over the course of 3 days.
Though that is only about half of what they made for the Garth Brooks concerts, the Pecan Grill believes working with other local bars and restaurants will help increase the local economy. For News 22, I'm Blas Maestas.
New Mexico's U.S. senators are speaking out on issues today. Senator Tom Udall is happy the government could reach an agreement to keep the country going. Senator Martin Heinrich also released a statement in honor of May Day, also known as International Workers' Day. Heinrich says Latino and Hispanic communities have helped the economic successes in New Mexico and across the nation. Both Udall and Heinrich still oppose President Trump's border wall.
In Las Cruces, May Day transformed, and Andres is back for the next weather.
Hi guys, let's take a look at current temperatures across the nation. Right now in Lubbock, we're looking at 92 degrees. El Paso is at 90, 80 in Albuquerque, 60 in Denver, 74 in Reno, Medford is at 77, Seattle at 61, and San Francisco at 78. Moving over to the East Coast, we're looking at 85 in Jacksonville, 77 in Atlanta, and 72 in New York City. On to our next map, we're going to take a look at some storm systems affecting much of the deep south. The severe thunderstorms will begin Wednesday, starting off in Texas, affecting cities such as Houston. By the later hours, it's going to move more eastward, affecting cities such as New Orleans and Mobile. We'll be seeing damaging winds, flash flooding, and travel disruption. So if you're driving along the I-20 and I-10 corridors, take some caution. On to our next map, we're going to take a look at some low pressure sitting over Tennessee. This is going to bring some moisture from the Gulf of Mexico up, creating some heavy thunderstorms for the rest of the south and into the northeast. Cities such as Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and D.C. will be seeing a lot of these heavy storms. On our next map, we're going to see a little more of what this will be affecting. On to our next map. We're going to be seeing temperatures 5 to 15 degrees below average for cities such as Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, New York, Syracuse, and Detroit. So there could be a possibility of snow at higher elevations and more in the interior part of the northeast. That is it for your national forecast. We're going to take a quick break, and I'll be back with your New Mexico temperatures.
Hi, I'm Andrea Vista, host of New Scandinavian Cooking, the international cooking series that explores Scandinavian cuisine, culture, and history.
Thursday at 2:30 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Dolphins, the cleverest animals in the ocean, who engage in courtship rituals and gang rivalries. Spy cams infiltrate the pod to record their antics and even chat with these charismatic creatures.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. on KRWG TV.
It's the biggest construction project in Europe. The London Tube is expanding. The city hums above, and engineers hold their breath.
Like open heart surgery on a patient that's awake.
As a massive tunneling machine burrows over a station, teeming with commuters, only inches below.
Passing above their head.
Super Tunnel on Nova.
Wednesday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Thanks for tuning back in. Let's take a look at our current temperatures across the state of New Mexico. In Farmington, we're looking at 70 degrees, Gallup at 70, 65 in Santa Fe, Albuquerque at 75, 79 in Clovis, Socorro at 77, 67 in Ruidoso, Roswell at 84, Deming at 81, and Las Cruces at 83 degrees. Our expected highs for tomorrow, we're looking at 72 in Farmington, 73 in Gallup, 65 in Santa Fe, Albuquerque at 75, Clovis at 69, 77 in Socorro, 68 in Ruidoso, 79 in Roswell, and 87 for both Deming and Las Cruces. Let's take a look at our cities nearby. For tonight, we're looking at clear skies in Alamogordo with a low temperature expected at 53 degrees. Partly sunny skies for tomorrow and a high temperature expected at 83. Up north in TRC, we're looking at clear skies tonight, low expected at 57, and partly sunny skies with a high temperature expected at 85 degrees. Up in Silver City, we're looking at a mild night tonight, clear skies, 48 is your expected low, and sunny skies for tomorrow and a high of 80. Here in the City of the Crosses, we're looking at low of 54 for tonight, clear skies, and for tomorrow, a beautiful sunny day with a high expected 87. I'll be back at the end of the newscast to take a look at your 5-day forecast to get your weekend planned out, but for right now, let's take it back to the folks on the desk.
A fire broke out in Santa Fe and damaged a set where a TV show was being shot.
That's the first story in tonight's Southwest Minute.
Part of the set of the television series Manhattan caught fire last night. Flames soared up to 40 feet in the air. The building is next to the Santa Fe University of Art and Design. A school spokesperson says crews got the flames under control in about 2 hours. The abandoned building was part of an Army hospital that housed men wounded in World War II. A teen could be facing charges after he jumped into an aquarium at a Bass Pro Shop located in Colorado. Authorities say it was part of a viral stunt gone wrong. Teens at other stores across the country have posted the prank on social media. An animal care team says the fish are okay. The store owner wants to prosecute the kid. Fire broke out at a candy plant owned by the Mars Candy Company today in Waco, Texas. It broke out at the loading dock and spread to at least 4 other trailers. The fire department had top call for reinforcement, and the plant was evacuated. No injuries were reported. I'm Whitley Newberry with the Southwest Minute.
And Nolan Fox is next with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, we'll see how the Las Cruces women's football team did in their home opener. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
From orchids with irresistible sex appeal to carnivorous plants luring their prey into a deadly trap.
They've been digested by the plant.
They're the frauds and murderers of the plant world, tricking and deceiving insects for their own purposes. It's evolution at its most devious. Today, scientists are still discovering the secrets of plants behaving badly.
Wednesday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Think Wednesday on PBS. For stories from the world around us. Stories of camera close-ups.
A new spy creature joins the team.
Engineering marvels.
I love that we're bringing railroad back to life.
And plants ready to gorge.
Now the time bomb is ticking.
For stories that get you closer to life. Think Wednesday.
On KRWG-TV.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back, and hold on to your socks because I'm Nolan Fox with News 22 Sports. The search for a new women's basketball coach is finally over. Earlier today, Brooke Atkinson was announced as the new head coach. Atkinson was previously an associate head coach at Colorado State and was also here as an assistant coach at New Mexico State from 2003 to 2010. She will be formally introduced tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. The New Mexico State softball team is celebrating a share of the WAC regular season title. Coming into the weekend, they had to win all 3 games against Grand Canyon for sole possession of the championship, but they only won 1 of them. As a result, they split the regular season title with the Lopes. And tonight they are traveling up to Albuquerque and are already underway against the Lobos. It is the final time that they will be playing the Lobos this season. They will play Florida Atlantic in the season finale on Thursday at home. And the Aggie baseball team is facing an identical schedule as the softball team. They also played a big 3-game set this weekend against Grand Canyon, but they were swept out the door. The series was a battle for first place in the WAC as Grand Canyon topped the Aggies 11-9 in extra innings on Friday, 7-2 on Saturday, and 9-0 on Sunday. The baseball team is also playing their I-25 rival up in Albuquerque. They are 0-2 against the Lobos this season. The women's football team La Muerte de las Cruces is looking to recover from a tough loss in their season opener at home. On Saturday night, La Muerte played the Rocky Mountain Thundercats of Colorado. The Thundercats beat La Muerte 22-7 at the Field of Dreams. La Muerte is now 1-1 on the season after they beat the Utah Blitz the previous weekend. And that's all for sports tonight. Thanks for tuning in. News 22 Sports will be back tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Andres will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, do you like yoga? Well, so do these little animals. Find out who enjoys yoga more than you do when News 22 continues.
On Masterpiece.
Keep going, Stan, same rate.
You've collapsed from exhaustion. You need to rest.
We'll lose the farm.
Why don't I talk to him? Warn him never to lay a finger on you. This changes everything.
Home Fires on Masterpiece.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Next time on Latin USA.
From Mexican rock and roll, there ain't no such thing. I said, hold on, pal.
Mexican Americans find their own musical voice. And a handful of superstars take Latin music into the heart of American culture.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG TV.
Let's take a look at our top stories. Selena Quintana took us to a march to support awareness of climate change. Marches in support of immigrants took place all across the country, including here in Las Cruces. And Whitley Newberry showed us more about the hiring of head coach Chris Jans.
Practicing yoga doesn't always have to be with friends. Local yoga instructors have some unusual company during their sessions. Research professor Nikki Herrings has been practicing yoga for the past 10 years. Herrings and a friend came up with the idea of doing yoga with goats thanks to her social media followers.
So we were both getting tagged in videos on Facebook all the time, and eventually we're like, there might be a calling here, a call to answer for goat yoga.
This was the second yoga goat session they had. The next one will be on May 6th and every first Saturday of the month. For more information, you can log on to getyouryogagoat.com. That's very interesting, doing goats with yoga.
Right. Yeah, I've never thought about doing yoga with goats.
Thought they were going to
I don't know.
do the downward dog or something like that.
I'm not down with that. No.
But what are the next 5 days looking like, Andres?
Well, they're going to be beautiful. That's all I can say. Tomorrow we're going to kick off a sunny day with 87 degrees. Thursday, 81. Friday, we're going to warm up to the 90s. We're going to see some partly sunny skies. Saturday we're going to see clear skies as well, and Sunday as well. It looks like a beautiful week. Let's have some good time outside.
That looks really good. No wind, perfect weather.
We are going to see a little breezy conditions, though, tomorrow. I mean, not enough, but it's be a nice breeze, though.
That weekend looks nice to do some yoga with some goats, right?
Not for me. I'll be at the pool.
Not for me either. Don't count me in, Javi.
And that's all for News 22 Tuesday. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow night as we take a look at more news.
I'm Javier Gutierrez.
And I'm Melissa Barraza.
And I'm Andres Valle.
Good night.
This news brief in Español is brought to you by Noticias22, Spanish language news for southern New Mexico and West Texas. Noticias22.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Les saluda Carlos Pedrosa con este breve informativo de Noticias 22. La policía de Las Cruces ha arrestado a un hombre sospechoso de asaltar sexualmente a una niña de 12 años y de contenerla ilegalmente. Carlos Castaneda, de 49 años de edad, enfrenta un cargo de secuestro y 3 cargos de contacto sexual criminal con una menor. Investigadores aprendieron que la víctima conoció a Castañeda por medio de una amistad con una familiar de él. En marzo de este año, la niña por fin contó a su mamá de ocasiones en que Castañeda la trató de tocar, con incidentes pasando desde el 2015. También el acusado de traer a una niña en un cuarto y bloquear la entrada tratando de forzar a la niña a acostarse. Castañeda se encuentra en la cárcel de Doña Ana con una fianza en efectivo de $75,000. También en Las Cruces, el departamento de la policía está investigando la muerte de un bebé. El infante fue encontrado inconsciente el sábado pasado a las 10 de la mañana. Médicos intentaron revivir al infante varios minutos, pero no pudieron revivirlo y fue declarado muerto en su residencia de la calle Madrid. También otro caso de asfixia infantil sucedió hoy a las 3 de la mañana en el 900 este de la avenida Hadley. La policía respondió a una llamada de una mamá que encontró a su bebé de 4 meses sin respirar. El bebé fue transferido al hospital donde fue pronunciado muerto. Los 2 casos se encuentran bajo investigación. Eso es todo por hoy de mi parte. Que tengan muy buena tarde. Les saluda Carlos Pedrosa para Noticias 22.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News 22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.